So first off, thank you, Ian. Thank you for pulling together this, and Goodwin Procter as well. I really enjoyed my conversations this morning, so thank you. I had a great set of conversations. So Ian, when we spoke beforehand, you asked me to give a little bit of my personal background as well as the fund. So I'm going to do both. Maybe I'll start with my personal background. So like many of you here, not a native New Yorker. I'm a Brit, grew up in London, went to college, always been drawn to, yeah.
What's your time? I'll give you an extra 30 seconds.
So always been drawn to entrepreneurialism. When I, as a college kid, I went up to Edinburgh and I did economics at Edinburgh and saw that I had a little bit of extra time around my studies and was very passionate about music. I've always been a music guy. So went up in the summer, started a business. Friend and I got together a nightclub, built up the operations of that, built a marketing plan, built a brand around that, started hiring DJs, got that up and running. And it really wasn't for business, it was for fun. And that's what we did. And it was rewarding. It became a feature of the Edinburgh nightlife for the next few years. And that really gave me my first taste of entrepreneurialism, small business, gave me like tips and taxis money, paid for my music. But that gave me the bug. And so when I graduated from university, I wanted to get a business background, went to a consulting firm. I went to Booz Allen Hamilton in London. I worked for them for 3.5 years doing media and technology, and that really has defined my career ever since I started working. And worked for them for 3.5 years, did business school, came out of business school, and came out of business school right into the teeth of the first dot-com boom in London. London was really taking off. It was changing as a city very rapidly. And I got the bug again, and I sought out a couple of founders who were in the music business. One was a finance person, one was a music person, and they were looking to build a dance music business out of London. London was a unique place to do it because London really understood that business in a way that New York didn't, because New York was dominated by majors, and the dance music business operates in a completely different way. So started that business from scratch, found the office, plugged in the phones, did all that, and grew it right through from the peak of the dot-com boom in London through the crash, built it to 25 people, profitable, operating in multiple countries, multiple revenue streams. And that was probably the single most valuable business experience of my life. I learned a ton. I learned to stay calm under pressure, to keep communicating to the company, and those are lessons that have stuck with me through my career since. So 2 years after that, one of my former colleagues from Booz Allen headhunted me out of London to join Time Warner in New York. Something I didn't initially want to do, but the lure was just merged with AOL. This is one of the biggest media issues of the time, and you're going to get a front row seat as we try and figure this stuff out, which was a fascinating place to be. So the gig was, come and join Time Warner for a year and a half, and then we'll put you back into Europe, and you can run strategy for Time Warner out of Europe. That never happened, of course, as is always the way. I'm still here 10 years later. And I played a variety of roles for Time Warner. So I was a strategist, I did corp dev for them, and I ended up investing for them for 5 years and joined Comcast Ventures about a year and a half ago to help grow out the New York presence of Comcast Ventures, obviously a very important market for us. So let me give you a minute on Comcast Ventures. The easiest way to think about Comcast Ventures is a straight venture firm. And the reason for that is that's the way it's structured and that's the way we're incented. So there's a carry plan that applies. All the group is financially motivated and aligned with our portfolio companies. So we want to see our portfolio members and our management teams do exceptionally well. And that provides for clarity of decision making. So there's no strategic rationale that we need to build into our investments. There's no corporate sponsor. There's no investment committee that we need to sell to. We like a company, we can be nimble and we can move forward with the approval of the partnership. We typically write $3 to $10 million checks, so we're later than some of the earlier investors here, and indeed later than some of the companies here. But if it's, particularly if it has a media angle, we're very broad in media and tech. We cover from high tech through chips, education, health, ad tech, gaming, consumer, anything in the mobile stack. So the right way to think of us is as a straight VC firm, and we can move nimbly, but we also sit beside these amazing assets. We sit beside NBC and Comcast and Universal that are full of talented colleagues running businesses that can potentially accelerate our portfolio companies. So maybe they can bring demand, or maybe they can bring supply, or maybe they can bring data or strategic insight. And where we see opportunities to do that and to bring that to our portfolio companies, that's what we try to make happen. Like any VC, we want to see our companies succeed as fully as possible and to grow as aggressively as possible. So where there are opportunities to do a deal with Comcast or with NBC or with Universal, and it makes sense for both sides, we try and make that happen. We tee up the conversations, we identify the right people on either side, we contextualize the conversations, make sure that they're talking about the right subjects, and hopefully accelerate their business alongside the traditional things that VCs do, like strategic guidance and exit guidance and financing guidance. So that's us. I'm around the rest of the day. Come and grab me if you want to chat about anything that may be relevant for us and our investing, and enjoy the rest of the day.
And Andrew will be investing $5 of his personal money in this chosen startup here.
The entire contents of my wallet.